My name is Ethan Carter, and before Sophia Bennett, my life was painfully ordinary. I'm not complaining, I used to tell myself. A small apartment, a decent job, and enough money to sleep without checking my bank account twice. I worked at a marketing firm downtown, wore the same 3 shirts every week, and spent my evenings cooking simple dinners for myself. Then I met Sophia. She walked into the little cafe where I always ate lunch, wearing an expensive coat and looking completely out of place. "You're Ethan, right?" she asked. I blinked. "Have we met?" "No, but I've seen you here." "That sounds slightly terrifying." She laughed. "I'm Sophia." I knew the name. Everyone did. Sophia Bennett was the heiress of one of the city's most powerful families. "You're kidding." "I'm not." "And you're talking to me because?" "Because you're the only person here who didn't stare at me when I walked in." That was how it started. Somehow, our conversations became dates. Dates became late-night phone calls, and before I realized it, I was completely in love. One evening, sitting beside the river, I finally asked, "Sophia, doesn't my life bother you?" She frowned. "What do you mean? You have everything. I have a rented apartment and a car that sounds like it's dying." She smiled and took my hand. "Ethan, money means nothing when I'm with you." "You really believe that?" "I know that." I believed her, because I wanted to. Soon, Vanessa and Claire became part of our everyday lives. "They're my best friends," Sophia told me. "I trust them more than anyone." Then I trust them too. Vanessa was confident, beautiful, and always perfectly dressed. Claire was quieter, kinder, and usually the one trying to keep peace. At first, I treated both of them like family. Then Vanessa started making little comments. "So, Ethan, are you still working that marketing job?" "Yeah." "Must be difficult keeping up with Sophia's lifestyle." I laughed. "I'm doing fine." Claire glanced at her. "Vanessa, don't start. I'm just asking." Another night, Vanessa looked around my apartment and smiled. "This place is cozy." I knew what she meant. Sophia squeezed my hand. "I love it here." Vanessa shrugged. "Of course you do." Claire quietly said, "It's nice, Ethan." I smiled at her. "Thanks." I ignored the tension because Sophia never gave me a reason to doubt her. One afternoon, Vanessa asked, "Have you ever thought about using Sophia's connections to get ahead?" I stared at her. "No. Why would I?" She raised her hands. "Relax. It was just a question." Claire looked uncomfortable. "That was unnecessary." Vanessa rolled her eyes. "You two are so sensitive." I told myself it meant nothing. Sophia loved me. She trusted me. That was enough. At least I thought it was. A few days later, the 4 of us were sitting together when Vanessa suddenly said, "Sophia, can I show you something?" Sophia smiled. "Sure." Vanessa unlocked her phone and turned the screen toward her. I couldn't see what was displayed. Sophia's smile slowly disappeared. "What is this?" she whispered. Vanessa glanced at me. "I thought you deserved to know." My stomach tightened. "Sophia." She didn't answer. Claire looked at the phone, then at me, and quickly looked away. "What did she show you?" I asked. Sophia finally raised her eyes. For the first time since we met, I saw doubt there. I swallowed. "Sophia, what's wrong?" She stood and walked toward me. Her voice was barely a whisper. "Ethan, is there something you've been hiding from me?" I felt the room go silent. "What?" She stared at me as if she were searching my face for a lie. "I don't understand. I hope you're telling me the truth." "I always have." Vanessa said nothing. Claire lowered her eyes. I reached for her hand, but she pulled back. "Sophia, please. Let me explain." "But you look at me like I'm a stranger." "I'm trying to understand." "Then ask me." She hesitated. Vanessa watched. "Claire, do you know what this is about?" She opened her mouth, then stopped. "I'm sorry, Ethan." Those words frightened me more than an accusation. And suddenly I realized something had changed. I just didn't know what. I didn't know what was on that phone. I didn't know why Sophia no longer looked at me the way she had yesterday. Most importantly, I didn't know that the relationship I trusted with my entire heart was already in danger. I woke up the next morning expecting Sophia to call me. She didn't. I checked my phone again. Nothing. By noon, I finally called her. "Sophia, please answer." She picked up after several rings. Ethan. Her voice sounded cold. What happened yesterday? I don't want to talk about it. Then tell me what Vanessa showed you. There was a long silence. She showed me things about you. What things? Things I wish I had known before. I sat down. Sophia, I swear, whatever she told you is false. Then why does everything look so convincing? Because someone wants you to believe it. She sighed. Vanessa says you've been using my money. What? She says you used my connections and money to build your career. That's insane. She showed me financial records. I have never taken your money. She says you did. I don't care what she says. Ask the bank. Check my accounts. Check everything. I'm trying to understand, Ethan. No. You're trying to understand what Vanessa wants you to believe. She became quiet. Then she whispered. Claire saw some of it too. My heart sank. Claire. She said you talked about using my family name. I never said that. She remembers differently. I rubbed my face. Claire knows that isn't true. The next evening, I met Claire alone. Please tell me what is happening. She looked miserable. I don't know what to believe. You know me. I do. Then tell Sophia the truth. Claire lowered her eyes. I heard you talking about your career. Yes, my career. Not Sophia's money. You mentioned opportunities. Everyone talks about opportunities, Claire. I know. Then why are you helping Vanessa? I'm not trying to hurt you, but you are. She looked away. I'm sorry. That answer broke something inside me. A few days later, Sophia's family held a formal gathering. I almost didn't go, but I needed the chance to speak to Sophia face to face. When I arrived, Vanessa was already beside her. Sophia looked at me. Ethan, we need to talk. Good. Because I've been trying to talk to you all week. Vanessa stepped forward. You should finally tell her the truth. I stared at her. I have told her the truth. You manipulated Sophia. My chest tightened. No, I didn't. Sophia's eyes filled with tears. Then explain the money. There is no money. Vanessa showed me the records. Those records have been changed. Vanessa immediately said, that's exactly what someone guilty would say. I looked at Sophia. Please, check everything yourself. I already saw enough. No, you saw what someone wanted you to see. Sophia shook her head. I trusted you. I trusted you too. That isn't the same. It should be. Everyone around us had gone silent. I could hear my own heartbeat. Sophia whispered, did you ever love me? I stared at her. You really have to ask me that. I don't know what to believe anymore. Then believe the man you knew before all this. Vanessa interrupted. Sophia, you can't keep letting him manipulate you. I turned toward her. Stop calling the truth manipulation. Sophia closed her eyes. Then she said the words I never imagined hearing. We're over. I froze. Sophia, I can't do this anymore. Please don't make this decision because of them. I'm making it because I don't trust you. My throat tightened. Then check the truth before you destroy us. She shook her head. I'm sorry. I looked around the room. Nobody spoke. Claire was crying. Vanessa looked satisfied. I wanted to fight. I wanted to beg Sophia to stay. But something inside me refused. I slowly nodded. Okay. Sophia stared at me. That's all. I swallowed my pain. I won't beg someone to stay after she has chosen to leave. I walked out. That night, I sat alone in my apartment. The bracelet Sophia had given me rested around my wrist. I remembered her smiling when she put it there. You'll always have a piece of me, she had said. I closed my eyes. Then I removed it. My hands trembled. I loved you, I whispered. I placed the bracelet on the table. But I will never chase someone who has already chosen not to believe me. For the first time, I let myself cry. And somewhere inside me, I made a promise. If Sophia wanted to believe a lie, I would not destroy myself trying to change her mind. I would walk away, rebuild my life, and let the truth find her eventually. I thought losing Sophia would hurt for a while. I was wrong. For weeks, I barely answered my phone. Friends called. I ignored them. Messages appeared on my screen, and I turned the phone face down. Every night, I replayed Sophia's words. You manipulated me. You used my money. I don't trust you. I kept asking myself the same question. What did I do wrong? One night, Daniel came to my apartment and found me sitting in the dark. "You look terrible," he said. "I'm fine." "No, you're not. I just need time." "You've had time." I looked away. "Daniel, I lost her." "You lost someone who stopped believing you. She was the person I loved." "I know. She thought I was using her." "And were you?" "No." "Then why are you punishing yourself?" I had no answer. Daniel sat beside me. "You can miss her without going back to her." I stared at him. "What does that even mean?" "It means loving someone doesn't mean surrendering your dignity." His words stayed with me. The next morning, I opened my laptop and looked through an old business plan. I had started it months earlier, then abandoned it because I was always making time for Sophia, her events, and her world. Daniel noticed. "What is that?" "An idea I gave up." "Why?" "I thought I had more important things." He smiled. "Maybe now you know what matters." I applied for a new job that same day. 2 weeks later, I started working at a growing technology company. My salary was modest, but I didn't care. For the first time in months, I wanted to earn something because I had built it myself. My manager introduced me to Emma Carter during my first week. "Ethan, this is Emma. She'll be working with you on a new project." Emma offered her hand. "Nice to meet you." "You too." She looked at my notes. "You designed this?" "Yes." "This is actually good." I laughed. "Actually?" She smiled. "Sorry. I expected less." "Why?" "Because most people talk about ideas. You already built half of yours." That conversation became the beginning of something important. Emma never asked about Sophia. She never cared about the Bennett family. She cared about deadlines, numbers, and whether I could deliver. One evening, I showed her my abandoned business plan. She read through it carefully. "This could work." "You really think so?" "I know so." "That's a strong statement." "Then prove me wrong." I smiled. "I like your confidence. I like your idea." For the first time since the breakup, I felt excited about tomorrow. Emma noticed the change before anyone else. "You're different now," she told me one afternoon. "Different how?" "Less distracted." "By what?" I hesitated. "Someone who isn't in my life anymore." She nodded. "That's probably why you're seeing everything." Her words stayed with me. Across town, Sophia was beginning to notice things too. A missing transaction, a strange date, and a message Vanessa could not explain were planting questions. I knew nothing about any of it. I was moving forward. Meanwhile, I had no idea what was happening in Sophia's world. I didn't know Vanessa's story was beginning to crack. I didn't know Sophia had started asking questions. I didn't know certain dates on the documents didn't match. I only knew what was happening in my own life. I was working. I was rebuilding. I was becoming someone I had forgotten how to be. One night, Daniel called. "How are you?" "Busy." "That's better than hiding." "I'm working on the business again." "The old idea?" "Yes." "I'm proud of you." I leaned back in my chair. "Daniel." "Yeah." "Do you think I should have fought harder for Sophia?" He was silent for a moment. "No." "Why?" "Because you fought for the truth. She chose not to believe it." I looked at the business plan on my desk. For months, I had asked myself, why wasn't I enough? Now I asked a different question. Why did I allow someone else's opinion to decide my worth? The answer hurt. I had given Sophia's trust the power to define me. I had forgotten that my value existed before she loved me, and it would still exist after she left. I closed my laptop. Tomorrow, I would work again. Not for Sophia. Not to prove Vanessa wrong. Not to make anyone regret losing me. I would build my life because it was mine, and for the first time, that felt like enough. I never expected my business idea to become successful so quickly. What started as a small project after work turned into something people actually wanted. Emma stared at our latest numbers. "Ethan, do you realize what this means?" "I'm afraid to ask." "We made more this month than we expected to make in 6 months." I laughed. "Are you serious?" "Completely serious." For the first time, I felt proud without needing Sophia to see it. I had spent months believing success would only matter if Sophia knew about it. Now I understood that achievement could belong to me alone, without her approval, without her name, and without anyone else deciding whether I deserved it. I finally felt genuinely free. Meanwhile, I had no idea Sophia was questioning everything. One evening, She visited Vanessa's house unexpectedly. I wasn't there, and I knew nothing about what happened. Sophia later remembered hearing Vanessa talking on the phone. The evidence was enough, Vanessa said. He never even suspected anything. Sophia stopped outside the room. What evidence? Vanessa immediately ended the call. Sophia? How long have you been standing there? Who were you talking about? No one. Don't lie to me. Vanessa sighed. I was talking about Ethan. Sophia's voice hardened. What exactly did you do? I protected you. From what? From him. Sophia stared at her. How did you know so much about Ethan's private life? Vanessa hesitated. I knew enough. No. You knew things I never told you. I had people looking into him. Sophia's face changed. You investigated him? I wanted to make sure you were safe. Why? Because he didn't belong in your world. Sophia shook her head. That isn't an answer. Later, Claire arrived and immediately noticed the tension. What happened? Sophia turned toward her. Claire, tell me the truth. Claire froze. About what? The accusations against Ethan. Vanessa interrupted. Claire doesn't need to explain anything. Sophia looked at her. I wasn't asking you. Claire swallowed. Some things were exaggerated. Sophia stared at her. Some things. I knew the story wasn't completely true. Then why did you support it? Claire's eyes filled with tears. I was scared. Of Vanessa? Claire nodded. She kept saying she was protecting you. Sophia turned toward Vanessa. Was that what you told yourself? Vanessa crossed her arms. I did what I had to do. You destroyed my relationship. I saved you from making the biggest mistake of your life. Sophia stepped closer. You manipulated me. I showed you what you needed to see. No. You showed me what you wanted me to believe. Vanessa's expression hardened. You would have regretted staying with him. That was my decision. You were too emotional to make it. Sophia shook her head. Then why did you have to lie? Vanessa went silent. For the first time, I imagined she had no answer. While all of this was happening, I was focused on my company. I had no idea Marcus Bennett had quietly started investigating me. He wanted to know whether I had ever taken money from his family. He reviewed transactions, contracts, business records, and every financial connection between me and the Bennett family. The conclusion was simple. I had never taken a single dollar. Marcus reportedly stared at the report for several minutes. How did we get this so wrong? No one could answer him. A few days later, Sophia sat alone in her room when a news report appeared on television. Tonight, a rapidly growing technology company has attracted major attention after its founder, Ethan Carter, announced a new expansion plan. Sophia froze. My photograph appeared on the screen. She whispered my name. Ethan, the reporter continued. Carter's company has achieved remarkable growth in less than a year. Sophia stared at the television. That's his company. For the first time, she saw the life I had built without her. She reached for her phone. My old number was still saved. Her thumb hovered over my name. Then she called. The number no longer existed. She tried again. Nothing. Sophia lowered the phone. He changed his number. She looked at my photograph again. I didn't know she was watching. I didn't know she wanted to contact me. I didn't know Marcus had discovered the truth. All I knew was that my company was growing, my life was changing, and the past I had tried to leave behind was finally beginning to collapse. For the first time, the power had shifted, and Sophia was the one reaching for me. I learned the truth from David Reed 3 days after my company appeared on the news. He called me early. Ethan, we need to talk. About what? Vanessa. I immediately became silent. What did she do now? More than you realize. I found messages. What kind of messages? Messages between Vanessa and the person who created those screenshots. My stomach tightened. Send them to me. I will, but you need to understand something first. She deliberately edited conversations, removed context, and twisted your words. I opened the files David sent. I stared at the screen. This isn't real. It's manufactured. How? She took harmless messages, rearranged them, and made it look like you were discussing Sophia's money. I closed my eyes. So she planned everything. Yes. I laughed bitterly. And Sophia believed it. David hesitated. Ethan, there's more? What? Claire admitted she knew the evidence was misleading. I felt something inside me crack. Did Claire say why? She said Vanessa convinced her that you would eventually hurt Sophia. That's not an excuse. No, it isn't. Later, Claire came to my office. I almost refused to see her. Ethan, please. What do you want? I need to tell you the truth. I already know. Not everything. She stepped inside. Vanessa hated watching Sophia choose you. I stared at her. She wanted Sophia to date one of those wealthy men from their social circle. Why? Because Vanessa believed Sophia belonged with someone powerful. So she destroyed us because I wasn't rich enough? Claire nodded. She was jealous. Every time Sophia chose you over those men, Vanessa became angrier. I looked away. She ruined my life over jealousy. I know. And you helped her. Claire's eyes filled with tears. Yes. Why? I was afraid to stand against her. That doesn't make what you did disappear. I know. She lowered her head. I'm sorry, Ethan. I genuinely am. For the first time, I believed her regret was real. But then Vanessa started calling. Again and again. I refused every call. Eventually, David called me. Vanessa wants to meet you. I'm not interested. She says she needs to apologize. Does she? I don't think that's the whole reason. I sighed. What does she want? She wants you to help repair her reputation. I almost laughed. Of course. She's terrified people will discover what she did. She destroyed mine. And now she wants me to save hers? That's what it looks like. Meanwhile, Sophia had learned everything. She called me repeatedly. I watched her name appear on my screen. Sophia. I let it ring. Again. Again. Finally, I turned my phone off. I knew she was devastated. But regret could not erase what happened. David met me later. You're not going to answer her? No. She knows the truth now. I know. She wants to explain. I don't need an explanation. David frowned. Then what do you need? I looked at him. I need peace. He nodded slowly. There's something else. What? Sophia had one chance to defend you. My chest tightened. What are you talking about? When Vanessa first showed her the evidence, Sophia could have asked you directly before believing it. I said nothing. She didn't. Those words hurt more than anything else. I remembered Sophia looking at me. I don't trust you. I remembered begging her to check the truth. And I remembered her choosing Vanessa's story instead. I whispered. That was her choice. Yes. I can forgive someone for being deceived. David waited. But I can't forget that when it mattered most, she chose not to believe me. I looked at the evidence one more time. Every lie had been constructed. Every accusation had been designed to make me doubt myself. For months, I wondered whether I had failed Sophia. Now I knew the truth. I had not failed her. I had trusted the wrong people, and she had trusted them too. That realization hurt, but it no longer controlled me. That night, Vanessa sent another message. Please, Ethan, I need your help. Claire sent one too. I'm sorry. I only want forgiveness. I stared at both messages. Once, these women had treated me like I was beneath them. Now one wanted my help. The other wanted my forgiveness. And Sophia wanted another chance. I finally understood something. They had never expected the man they considered worthless to walk away and build a life without them. I had lost Sophia, but I had found myself, and I refused to lose that again. I need to see you, Ethan. I stared at her message for several minutes. Why? Because I owe you the truth. I almost ignored her. Instead, I replied, one meeting. We met at a quiet cafe far from the places we used to visit together. Sophia looked different. Not physically. Her eyes were different. I'm sorry, she said. I was wrong. I remained silent. I hurt you. You did. Tears filled her eyes. I hate that I did this. I looked down at my coffee. I used to dream about hearing you say that. And now I don't know what I feel. She reached across the table. I moved my hand away. Her expression broke. Every memory of us feels painful now, I said. Even the good ones. I understand. I believed every word you told me. I know. You said money meant nothing. It still doesn't. But trust meant something. She lowered her eyes. I know. After we separated, Claire approached me separately. She handed me a folded letter. I wrote this because I don't deserve to explain it face to face. I opened it later in my office. Her handwriting was shaky. I was weak, she had written. Vanessa pressured me, and I was too afraid to stand against her. I knew some things were exaggerated. I knew you weren't the person she described. But I stayed quiet. I watched Sophia hurt you, and I did nothing. I'm not asking you to forget. I only hope one day you can forgive me. I folded the letter carefully. Claire had done something Vanessa never could. She had accepted responsibility. Vanessa came the next day. I need you to understand something, she said. I'm listening. I only made mistakes because I cared about Sophia. I shook my head. No. But I still needed more time. I was trying to protect her. You destroyed her happiness. I thought you were wrong for her. That was your opinion. I loved her like a sister. Then you should have trusted her choices. She became frustrated. I never expected things to become this serious. That's the problem. She stared at me. I was only trying to help. I looked directly into her eyes. Caring about someone doesn't give you the right to destroy someone else. She had no answer. Meanwhile, my company continued growing. Emma brought me another report. We received 3 new partnership requests. I smiled. That's good. There's another one. Who? Marcus Bennett. My expression changed. Sophia's father? Yes. I immediately shook my head. No. Emma raised an eyebrow. You didn't even hear the offer. I know what accepting it could mean. Marcus requested a private meeting. When I arrived, he stood and offered his hand. Ethan. Mr. Bennett. Call me Marcus. I'm guessing you know why I'm here. I assume it's about the partnership. It is. I appreciate the offer, but I'm declining. Marcus studied me. Because of Sophia? Because I built this company without your family. He nodded. I understand. I don't want anyone saying I succeeded because of the Bennett name. You won't. Marcus continued. I investigated your company myself. Your growth came from your work, your decisions, and your ability. I remained quiet. I'm not offering you charity, Ethan. Then why? Because I respect what you built. After a long silence, I finally said, I'll consider it. Marcus smiled. That's all I wanted. Days later, I accepted the partnership, not because of Sophia, not because I wanted access to her family. I accepted because Marcus had finally separated my work from his daughter's relationship with me. My life became steadier, but Sophia remained somewhere inside the part of my heart I had not completely closed. One evening, she came to my office. Ethan? I looked up. What are you doing here? I need to ask you something. I stood. Okay. She took a breath. If I could go back, would you still choose me? I stared at her. For a moment, I remembered the cafe, the river, her hand in mine, and her promise that money meant nothing. Then I remembered her pulling away. I don't know, Sophia. Her eyes filled with tears. Why? Because I would have to meet the woman you are now. She whispered. And if you liked her? I looked at her carefully. Then maybe I would choose you again. But you're not sure? No. She nodded slowly. And for the first time, she understood that forgiveness and love were not the same thing. Sophia's question stayed with me long after she left my office. If I could go back, would you still choose me? I kept hearing it. For years, I had imagined getting another chance with her. Now that chance was standing in front of me, and I realized I wasn't sure I wanted it. Emma noticed my silence the next morning. You look like you didn't sleep. I didn't. Sophia? Yes. What did she want? Another answer. And what did you give her? The truth. Emma nodded. Sometimes the truth is harder than rejection. I still love her. Emma remained quiet. I think I love the woman she used to be. I continued. But I don't know if I can love what happened between us. That's different. I know. Sophia eventually contacted me again. I understand now, she said. Understand what? That I may have lost you. I didn't know how to respond. I'm not asking you to come back. You deserve honesty. I should have believed you. Yes. I know saying sorry doesn't fix that. No, it doesn't. She took a breath. But I'm still sorry. I looked at her. I believe you. Her eyes filled with tears. Does that mean there's hope? I don't know. She nodded. I'll accept that. For once, Sophia wasn't trying to change my answer. She was accepting it. A few days later, Claire came to see me. She didn't bring flowers. She didn't bring excuses. She simply stood outside my office. Can I say something? Of course. I'm not asking you to forgive me. I waited. I just want you to know that I was wrong. You were. I should have stood up for you. Yes. I was afraid of Vanessa, but that was my weakness, not your responsibility. I nodded. Thank you for admitting it. She wiped her eyes. I hope you find happiness, Ethan. I looked at her. I forgive you. She froze. You do? Yes. Why? Because carrying hatred would keep me trapped in the same past you helped create. She cried quietly. Thank you. I'm not forgetting what happened. I understand. Forgiveness doesn't erase consequences. I know. Vanessa learned that lesson differently. Once her lies became public, people stopped trusting her. Invitations disappeared. Friends stopped answering. The same social circle she had used to judge me began avoiding her. Then she came to my office. You know what happened to me? I heard. You could help me. No. She stared at me. Why? Because you made your choices. I admitted I made mistakes. You destroyed my relationship. I was trying to protect Sophia. No. You were trying to control her. Her expression hardened. I thought I was doing the right thing. You didn't. I'm suffering now. I know. You could tell people the truth. I already did. Then help me fix this. I shook my head. Vanessa, forgiveness does not mean saving someone from the consequences of their choices. She looked at me as if she hated the answer. You've become so cold. No. I paused. I've simply learned boundaries. She left without another word. That evening, I sat alone in my office and looked at everything I had built. The company, the team, the future. None of it existed to impress Sophia. None of it existed to defeat Vanessa. For months, I had worked because I wanted everyone who doubted me to regret their decision. But suddenly, that motivation felt empty. I called Emma. Are you busy? Always. I laughed. I've been thinking. That sounds dangerous. I think I'm done trying to prove myself. She became quiet. That's a big decision. I don't want my life to be a response to what happened. What do you want instead? I want to live for myself. That sounds healthier. It feels strange. Good things usually do at first. I looked through the office window. The city lights stretched across the darkness. I thought about Sophia. I still loved her. That truth didn't embarrass me anymore. But love didn't mean returning. It didn't mean forgetting. And it certainly didn't mean pretending betrayal had never happened. I could forgive her without giving her another chance. That was the hardest lesson I had learned. Forgiveness was not a door back into the past. It was a door out of it. The next morning, I made one final decision. I would stop asking whether Sophia regretted losing me. I would stop wondering whether Vanessa finally understood my worth. I would stop building my life for people who had once decided I wasn't enough. I was enough before Sophia. I was enough after Sophia. And I would spend the rest of my life making sure I never forgot that again. I closed my laptop, smiled, and walked toward the future. For the first time, I wasn't running from my past. I was simply no longer living inside it. I received Sophia's request for one final meeting. I almost refused. Then I remembered the place she wanted to meet. The river. The place where she first told me she loved me. When I arrived, Sophia was already waiting. Thank you for coming. We needed one final conversation. She looked toward the water. I remember this place. So do I. You were nervous that night. I was terrified. She smiled sadly. I told you I loved you, and I believed I had found my future. She looked at me. I thought losing you would destroy me. I know, but losing you taught me something. What? The difference between love and trust. I stayed silent. I loved you, she continued. But when Vanessa gave me those lies, I stopped trusting you. You chose to believe her. I understand. Her voice trembled. I wish I could erase that day. I shook my head. Some mistakes cannot be erased. I know, but they can be accepted. She looked at me. Do you forgive me? I took a slow breath. Yes. Tears filled her eyes. But you're not coming back. No. She closed her eyes. I knew that. I loved you deeply, Sophia. Part of me probably always will. She looked at me again. Then why can't we try? Because love isn't the only thing a relationship needs. Trust. Yes. And I destroyed yours. You did. She wiped her tears. I'm sorry. I believe you. That almost makes it harder. I know. We stood quietly beside the river. Water moved beneath us. City lights reflected across its surface. But I was not the same man who had stood there years earlier. I no longer needed her to choose me. I had already chosen myself. Before I left, she whispered, I hope you become happy. I will. She smiled through her tears. I hope I do too. I walked away without looking back. My phone buzzed later that evening. It was Claire. Thank you for giving me a chance to apologize. I replied, You earned forgiveness by accepting responsibility. She answered almost immediately, I'll never forget what I did, then use it to become stronger. She thanked me one last time. After that, Claire disappeared from my daily life. Vanessa disappeared too. She finally accepted that she could not control what happened next. For the first time, there was nothing left for her to manipulate. No relationship to destroy. No story to change. No person left to control. I never contacted her again. Marcus, surprisingly, became one of the strongest supporters of my future. During a business meeting, he told me, You made the right decision. About Sophia? About everything. I smiled. You once thought I wasn't good enough for your family. I was wrong. You admitted that. And I'll keep admitting it when necessary. I laughed. You don't have to. Yes, I do. He looked at my plans. You built this without my help, and now I'm building it with people who respect my work. That's exactly why I respect you. His words meant more than I expected. Months passed quietly. My company continued growing. My life became calmer. I stopped checking whether Sophia had called. I stopped wondering about Vanessa. I stopped replaying the night. Everything fell apart. The past became the past. One evening, I returned to the river alone. I stood in the exact place where Sophia had once held my hand. For a moment, I remembered everything. Her smile, her voice, her promise. Then I smiled. Not because I wanted her back, because I realized I no longer needed the memories to hurt. I finally understood something I had missed for years. Revenge would have kept me connected to the people who hurt me. If I had spent my life trying to make Sophia regret losing me, she would still have controlled part of my future. Walking away was my true victory. I turned from the river and looked toward the city. There were new opportunities ahead. New people. New dreams. A life I would build for myself. I didn't know what tomorrow would bring. I was comfortable with that. I had spent so long believing my story ended when Sophia left. It didn't. That was only the chapter where I stopped losing myself. I took one final look at the place where our love had begun. Then I walked forward. I once thought losing Sophia meant losing everything. In the end, losing her was the moment I finally found myself.